Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ plus story for today. I'm Faye Watt, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Miami LGBTQ teens make history with prom at Vizcaya. They Cupid shuffled, they whipped, they nae-nae'd, and yes, they shook it like a Polaroid picture. But this wasn't your typical high school prom. The historic Vizcaya Museum and Gardens in Miami transformed into a vibrant celebration of queer joy as 96 LGBTQ students gathered for the estate's first ever prom. With a dreamy theme of Into the Garden, students twirled beneath the stars in everything from purple corduroy pants and platform sneakers to flowing baby blue ball gowns, colors that matched the Biscayne Bay sky. For many, it was their first time seeing Vizcaya. Built in the early 20th century, the estate has queer history of its own. Paul Chalfin, a queer artist, helped design the villa and lived on the grounds with his male partner. For Artemis Cruz, 17, a recent graduate of José Martí MAST Academy, this moment was deeply personal. Cruz skipped his school's prom, but helped dream up this one. The queer prom, organized by Safe Schools South Florida, is a response to Florida's tightening restrictions on LGBTQ expressions in schools. With support in schools fading due to the Don't Say Gay law, events like this are vital lifelines for queer youth. DJ Citizen Jane kept the dance floor moving with Chapel Rowan and 2010s throwbacks. While some students danced, others sketched architecture or just soaked it all in. The night ended with 9 students crowned kings, queens, and monarchs, a title designed to honor non-binary students. From the waterfront views to the fierce fashion and chosen family vibes, it was a prom, a moment, and these students will never, ever forget it. Oh my God, when I was in high school, prom looked nothing like this, all right? These kids said, oh, you don't say gay? Well, we say it louder and prouder in heels, under twinkle lights, and a literal palace, all right? Vizcaya was serving queer royalty realness, baby. And shout out to Artemis and Safe Schools South Florida and Scott Galvin for giving these kids the moment that they so deserved, all right? This wasn't just a prom, it was a resistance in rhinestones, baby. And the kings, queens, and monarchs, you better honor every identity on that dance floor because we are here for it.
Yes. I love seeing the diversity too, and how the not hegemony, but harmony of it all. That you would see 3 girls. I hope they were a triad. I hope that you'd see a boy and a girl. I hope they were bi and or just good buddies. I mean, like you saw every kind in all these. It was just this great diversity and the joy that came with it. That's what the world is afraid of. That we make our own rules. We keep our own promises. We celebrate our own realities. Nobody wants to do with us, but they know. And I'm glad they had that experience because I hope they keep it. Because if they will keep it, they're the changers of the world.
Yeah, no, they think that because they say, don't say gay, things are going to change. Well, we're going to find a way around. We always do. So it doesn't matter how you try to erase us. We are going to find a way to represent us. Yeah. And I'm so glad that they are talking about not only kings and queens, but also
the monarchs. I love
that they're representing non-binary people. Yes. I think it's fantastic because, let's face it, prom is a very painful memory for some of us.
For many.
For many of us. And, that youth nowadays can find their own space to celebrate who they are. Yeah. It's fantastic. So kudos to these people.
I think we can all relate to this sentiment that we didn't get to experience the typical prom experience. We didn't get to court the person that we found the most attractive, ask them out, and then go there. Some queer people did, but us at the table, we did not get to experience that. So the fact that these young people got to do that so genuinely and organically, wear what they felt would make them feel the most best and look the best, and then just have a fabulous night without having to think about who at the event is going to see me, who do I have to avoid, like who am I allowed to dance with, what are the rules about that. Just imagine being in that space where you all are their age, a very long time ago, and just think about being in that space of just like, I can just unabashedly be myself here, dress what I want to dress as, and just be, and then be celebrated for it. Yeah. So many of them won. I hope they had the best outfits. If you have a great outfit, go to the next one. Dress better than that. But now there's a space for you to be queer at prom, and that's finally possible. And it wasn't for so long, and it's just so meaningful. So I'm very happy this happened.
And my tired ass prom was not only was not queer, it wasn't at Vizcaya. I forget what tacky bullshit place it was. I mean, It's
was not
beautiful,
Vizcaya, right?
right?
And I was thinking about that. I was like, Vizcaya is so foo-foo. Like when me and my
Right.
wife were gonna get married, I was like, oh, let's go get
Amazing.
married at Vizcaya. And then we got the Vizcaya price, and we're like, we can't afford Vizcaya price, right? So to see this prom at this beautiful place. One last thing, okay? The next day after this prom, on the front page of most of the newspapers online was a picture of the queer kids enjoying their prom at Vizcaya, right? That was the Sunset Note. That was the Herald, right? Beautiful. I loved that it made the front page, right? To those naysayers, to those folks that don't like us, to those folks that are not educated enough to know that love is just love.
Right.
You know, that they had to see these queer kids on their front page like, wait a minute, what's going on at Vizcaya? What? A queer prom? Everything.
That was a one-finger blessing to all the homophobes.
Everything. So that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.